Today, we're going to be discussing the ancient Olympics. The ancient Olympics, we have to understand that they come from a broader scope of things, meaning the Greeks had this philosophy that no war would take place during the Olympics. It'd be peace. And as send your best champions to compete against each other, that's the victories that you can take back to your city-state. It doesn't matter the city-state, whether that was ancient Athens, ancient Sparta, ancient Thebes, Argos, and so forth and so on. Looking at this, you have to understand that the ideology behind it is the Greeks would literally set peace, no war. Send your best champion to compete against our best champion, mano a mano, and we'll see who the best is. A classical example is that the Greeks had they had boxing, wrestling, but they had this another fighting style that many people don't know about, called pancrase. Now, pancrase, beautiful fighting sport, still practiced today in some parts of Greece and some parts of here in the U.S. But it's basically meaning all fighting, all limbs, everything, using all parts of your body to fight. And this was the champion, the best of the best would do this sport. This was the NBA, the NFL, all mixed into one sport. Everyone watched this sport, pancrase. Everyone wanted to be a champion in it. So city-states would spend large amounts of their gold on training the pancrase champions to fight at the Olympics against whoever else's city-state. And they'd hire the best previous champions to come and train their guys, right? As we see this today in modern sports. The ancient Olympics, beautiful, pure sport. When I say pure, what I mean is every sport was real. It's not the modern example we have today of breakdancing or speed walking, but pure as in real sports. Can't get any more real than that. Pancrase, track and field, those ancient sports are beautiful because they're practical. It's what you use. It's what you will use on the battlefield and what you will do. Running. You see a classical example of the battle marathon. Therefore, hence we got the name the marathon. Running 26 miles, right? Ushering in. These are real examples used on the battlefield. So the sports were to mimic that. So they had things such as the hoplite run. Regular run without a hoplite armor. Hoplite armor meaning you put on your breastplate and you're running with all your armor on. And then they have examples without it. Because there's times where you do run to the battlefield without it and times when you run with it. The ancient Olympics would set aside time for peace and war. Break it apart. Nowadays we see modern examples where there's still war going on during the Olympics. It's a shame it happens, but it's the world we live in. The ancient Olympics, Sparta, Greece, Athens, would all take place, and they'd send their best champions to compete against each other. It's to the point where some city-states were even banned due to the fact not that they were too good, it's just they want to give up. The Spartans, for example, were banned from pancrase because the ideologies were different. In pancrase, the ancient fighting sport, you throw your fingers up to show that you've submitted. Raising your hand, the finger up, to show you submitted. And that's the only way you could lose. The Spartans believed the only way they could lose is through death. Right? So, no hand was raised. Only through death they could lose. It's a very different ideology than the sport. That's actual fighting. That's full-on fighting. So, they were banned from a couple of Olympics because of that, and the Spartans didn't like the fact that you couldn't bite or scratch. Because that was one of the rules that were in place for pancrase. Spartans believed you could use everything, all your tools, all your weapons, strikes to the groin, biting, scratching, everything you needed to win is true fighting. But when you add it into sports, you take away some of those hard factors. Hence his life. Ancient Olympics, modern day Olympics, they've changed very differently. They've been watered down a little bit. When I mean watered down, they've added things that don't matter into sports, into ancient Olympics that shouldn't be there. If you look at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, they've added sports that make no sense. Because when we watch the Olympics or when we watch Olympians compete, it's because we're watching something that we can't do, not an everyday person can do. We're watching it because it took this person their entire life training for that one moment, do something so beautiful and pure that I cannot do, but they can. But the Olympics, beautiful. Great things happen there. Amazing moments. Which type of men, if you compete at the Olympics, I have a question for you. What will your mentality be?